Okay, so we're live now. Hi guys, welcome back to Melissa's Cricut Creation. Today we're going to do a craft and sip, and we're going to discuss the Brittany Renner and DJ Akademiks interview that just came out today. While we're discussing it, I will be creating a shirt for my daughter tomorrow. This is iron on vinyl, okay? I've already printed out, and the SVG is in the description if you want to purchase it. It is in the description. And it's just the ABCs that I'm going to put on her shirt for tomorrow. We do have a special guest. His screen name is Fathers Are Important, but I'm going to let him introduce himself and tell us who he is.
My name is Arcadio Santana, and I'm from Long Island, New York. And I'm the founder and CEO of Fathers Are Important.
Okay. And they can be found on Instagram and
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. But Instagram is where the followers have its most account.
Okay, cool. Before we get started, guys, if y'all could go ahead and like this video, go ahead and share it. If you are not a part of the Cricut game, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and join us, okay? So first of all, today I was introduced to Mr. Fathers Are Forever, Arcadia, right? Okay, yes. I was introduced to him because, well, I think I saw the video. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, but I saw a video online, and it was a man who was, I guess, handing off his child to the mother, and they were yelling. I mean, the mother was, I guess the mother, what did she say? I think she said, get a test, right?
And, yeah, a DNA test.
Yeah, get a DNA test. And the caption was that she was a horrible mom. Well, I don't think he said she's a horrible mom, but I think he said that something like, this is what fathers have to go through, something to that extent. And, you know, this is horrible how she's treating him, da-da-da. And I come in and I said, well, we don't see the full video, so we don't know what he said to her. And so, and, you know, just back and forth all, you know, today, yesterday, whatever. And then he inboxed and asked me, you know, well, didn't ask me, but I think it's like a generic message where you inbox is like, you know, fathers are important, follow the page, da-da-da. And me being who I am, right? Let me show you my poster that I have. I think I dropped it. But nevertheless, me being who I am, I was like, you know, you can promote fathers because I'm very, like, you know, in tune with mothers. So I was like, you can promote fathers without, you know, dragging mothers, and, you know. And that's how this whole, oh, here we go. I have my poster. I can show you. So this is a craft. It didn't come out right. It was a fail. This is a craft. It's one of the SUVs I got. And so just to show you how we feel. I don't know if you read it. But yeah, long story short, you know. And so that's how we got to talking. And I invited him on to Sip and Craft because I was going to go live tonight, talk about Brittany Renner and how he feels about, you know, the whole situation and the DJ Akademiks interview, which we're going to play shortly. But just to give some background on Brittany Renner. Brittany Renner is an Instagram model, I guess. And before she even met PJ Washington, because I was calling him PJ Williams, PJ Washington, you know, she already had sponsorships. She has a very large following. She's modeled before. So she doesn't necessarily need to secure a bag to make sure her life is good, right? She already had her own money. So she met a PJ Washington. Yeah, PJ Washington. And they started to date. Well, the internet was upset about it because she's made videos before stating that, you know, the easiest way to come up is off an athlete because they don't like, you know, using protection and they're easy to pretty much set up or whatever. And, you know, men didn't take well to that. How did you feel about, you know, hearing about that? How did you feel about that?
I think I feel in a lot of different ways that can you hear me loud and clear?
I hear you.
I feel in a lot of ways that I feel that she was. Hello?
I'm here. I hear you.
I feel in a lot of ways.
You just paused. You felt in a lot of ways. Oh man, he paused. Okay, so while he's pausing, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you how I feel. So I feel like she didn't need him, right? And so she met PJ when he was 20, okay, and she was 26. And a lot of people say, oh, that's a large gap, but I feel like it's a double standard, right? Because men are promoting this whole idea that women hit the wall at 25. We have a 50-year-old man by the name of Kevin Samuels that's telling grown men that women hit the wall at 25. So what is a 50-year-old saying, to men that's dating, that they should date younger women? So a 50-year-old man can date a 25-year-old woman, but a 26-year-old woman can't date a 20-year-old man. And so, long story short, they end up dating. They get together. She ends up moving from where she is to where he is, Sounds like love to me, right? At least they thought it was love at the time. And she ends up getting pregnant which she's going to tell us in the interview how that all happened. She ends up getting pregnant by PJ. And so when she gets pregnant, they didn't make it, unfortunately. Let's listen to the interview. Yeah, I think so too. All right, let's play the interview. I really want him to be here to hear the interview, but let me know if you guys, I'm about to play the interview. Let me know if you can hear it, because I don't really want to play the voice. I mean, the picture of it. I might play it on my phone. And let me know if you can hear it, because I don't want to get copyrighted. I'm about to text him and see what's going on real quick. I'll just resend the link to him. See, can we get him back on? But I hate to play it and he's not here because I want to get his feedback. While we wait on him, I'll go ahead and weed this. We'll give him like a couple of seconds. And then, but yeah, so, waiting for the law back then. But yeah, so basically, the world is up. I was just on her page a few minutes ago, and she's posting her Halloween costume, and they're in the comments saying free PJ, as if he was ever in prison, I think he was a willing participant. He was definitely a grown man. And, all of a sudden they're caring about people being used when men are synonymous with using women for what they want. But when the tables get turned, all of a sudden he was used. He was groomed at 20. This 20-year-old was groomed. I'm not saying this 20-year-old can't be groomed, but it's not like she was, 55. So yeah. He begged for the baby, as we'll find out in this interview. And I'm just trying to give him a chance to get back on here before I play it. But I think I'm going to go ahead and play it. I'm going to call him to see if his phone is dead or whatever. See what's going on. You guys want to see this? This is what I'm going to be pressing onto her shirt. Definitely be the quickest guest I've ever had.
KDO Santana. Our fathers are important.
Oh man, so I guess he's gone. Okay. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and listen to this interview since I think he's gone, and we'll just go from there. And I was gonna be a little nice about this since we had a guest, and I think that's off the table now. We don't have a guest. All right, so let's listen to the interview. And this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just, fair use, whatever I need to say.
You want to fuck me raw. So why are we?
Let's go back.
No, he was still at Kentucky. Okay.
And you're Brittany Renner, who he's seen all over the fucking media with these.
Okay, so this is what I really get so fucking annoyed about is like, so when do you as men take accountability? You're old enough to ride this ride. You want to fuck with me. You want to come at me. You want to fuck me raw. So
I'm just going to stop it there for a second just so we can address what she just said. She said, at what point do men become accountable? At the end of the day, as I've said so many times, yes, it takes two to tangle. Yes, the woman most of the time has to agree, right? Because the R word is a real thing. But at the end of the day, who holds the seed? So like, if you don't want a kid, you are the one who is the one who can control this situation. If he does not, go in her raw, whatever you want to call it or whatever, release his seed, there's no baby. She cannot make the baby unless he agrees on it, So I just want to pause there so we could address that. Now let's keep going.
So why are we babying men who make decisions for themselves? Like I told you, I was on birth control up until I had a conversation with my baby father. So what do you think happened? So I got a leg lock him. No, let me.
The maturity of men and women are different.
No, stop. No, it's because men and women are held to different standards.
I hate to keep pausing, but I got to address that. The maturity of men and women are different. They will die on the ledge of excuses if they are allowed to, okay? If he is 20 years old, he is a consensual adult. When you talk to men about, them talking to young girls or that young lady that just married her godfather, the men are in the comments saying she's 18, it's legal, it's, consensual. Now all of a sudden, well, men are different, He can't consent to that because he's a child. He didn't know. He's not a child. Grown man. All right, let's go.
Y'all want to look at a 20-year-old who wanted to fuck. I was 26 when I met him. You want to fuck with me? Here's what it is. Nope, stop acting like someone had to pull the wool over his eyes. I was exactly who I am right now. And so, stop. Let me finish. I have no reason I have no reason to lie about anything that I've done or the person that I am. And I believe in full transparency. The ideal relationship to me is for my partner to know everything about me. So please stop playing this victim narrative. If you wanted to just fuck me and just say she's choking pussy, I hit Brittany Renner, that's that. Why did we have a baby? Our baby's name is Paul Jermaine Washington III. Does that sound like an oops baby? Does that sound like someone who was bamboozled? You asked me to move in with you. You wanted me to have your child at 22 years old. And here we are. I told you I'm okay to wait. I'm not in a rush. I'm a very spiritual person. I trust.
Just so that we're clear, he was 22 years old when they had the baby. So he's old enough to drink. He's old enough to sign up for the military, which he may never come home again if he signs up for the military, right? He's old enough to drive a car. He's old enough to smoke. He's old enough to do everything else, but he's not old enough to decide whether or not he wants a baby. Can somebody explain it?
Trust in divine timing. I know
anything. Trying to get married to him?
No, I'm not trying to. I just told you. I was. I thought that was my guy. And I don't know why it's so hard for y'all to believe that. In my mind, it's crazy to me the age gap between Jay-Z and Beyonce, crickets. The age gap between Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan, it's crickets. Y'all don't have the same energy. Lori Harvey's 20.
Okay, so I don't know the age gap between Jay-Z and Beyonce, so I'm gonna Google that real quick so we can put this in perspective. Beyonce and Jay-Z age gap. Let's see. Ooh, okay. Beyonce is 39 allegedly, and Jay-Z is 51. So, okay.
24. There's a 10-year age gap between her and Michael B. Jordan. Stop. But y'all picking, what's the age gap?
No, not talking about.
What's the age gap?
No,
because it's couple goals for people y'all want to be couple
wait.
goals with.
Okay, no, it's not about being a couple.
Stop.
It's about certain permanent decisions.
Okay, so if something doesn't work for me, then why would I sit?
If someone's 32, and we've seen this.
We've seen it with Jay-Z and Beyonce. Address them.
Okay.
Address them. This is on the record. You don't care. Address them.
When did Beyonce have a child by Jay-Z?
Then when did they start dating?
It doesn't matter
What's
about
the age gap?
Nobody's caring about it.
Gap?
Hold on.
What's the age gap?
The age gap is significant. However,
it is.
Hear what I'm saying? It's
Nobody
not about
wants to
that.
talk about any of this shit.
You got you had a kid by him before he could even really get his legs.
That was his choice. I didn't.
Just because he was old enough to sign $1 million contract, amen. So just because he is, 22, an adult by all means of the word, he's 22, right? And let's address the whole Jay-Z and Beyonce thing. So he said, well, when did she have a kid by him? If you listen to any of her interviews, what did she talk about? That she had a lot of miscarriages. She had miscarriages. She had been suffering from miscarriages. So we don't know when he first got her pregnant. We just know when the baby actually came out. We don't know when he first got. And allegedly, they started talking when she was 16, which is actually illegal. She started talking to him when he was an adult.
I don't have to leg lock niggas. You want to fuck me raw and come at me, and stuff comes behind it. That
it's
child
even
was
on
playing.
both sides. If it was a woman, if it was a girl who just became 21 and a nigga who was 33 and she was pregnant.
But y'all ain't had nothing to say.
Permanent decisions. It's not about dating.
When Diddy was with.
They are still pushing R. Kelly and got the nerve to be around here talking about she did that if a man got a girl pregnant that young, that's permanent decisions and people have a problem with it. Lies, because they do it all the time.
Younger women, y'all have nothing to say. When Future was with Lori Harvey, it's fucking cricket. So I'm gonna say people's names because everybody in this motherfucking industry is scared to open their mouth, but y'all pick and choose. So what about Future and his bitch now? What's the age gap with that? Why is that not raising eyebrows? Because nobody gives a fuck about what men do. But let a woman be 6 years apart and I'm a fucking predator? Y'all are calling me R. Shelley. Y'all got all these memes and this funny shit. Because at the end of the day, Paul Jermaine Washington III is my child's name. So if people want to have their own opinion about our relationship, that's on you. I could call my baby father right now. He will laugh. He's not going to dispel any rumors because he loves this shit.
No, but he's on Twitter subtweeting like, yo, I want to see my child.
He's allowed to.
Why don't you let him see his child? Let's talk about that. Because first of all, we already feel bad for him because we feel like before he could even get a max contract, you already got a kid.
Do you guys feel bad for someone who moved me in and wanted to give me a baby and named it after him? That's what y'all feel bad about?
We feel like you were more in control of the situation.
Control is an illusion. So what are you saying?
Just like if a young woman who said, hey, listen, I met this celebrity at 19 and we start fucking around when we're 21. Even though if you're 21, we're going to feel bad for you because we know what fame and influence brings to someone. Especially with permanent decisions. Just dating, we'll give you a pass. But once you're having kids, you're getting married, of course, there's a permanent decision.
Okay, so did I make this child myself or did it take his nuts to make this child? Oh, you did?
I don't know how that went down.
Okay. Well, do you know how life is created?
Yeah, but he could have told you I didn't want that shit. Like,
so he didn't want a child, but he's gonna name him the third.
Yeah, after it's gonna happen because your body, your choice, right?
Oh no, I gave him the option. Whatever you want to do, I love you.
So if
he doesn't want a kid. Yeah. So she was a teenager when she started. I clicked on another video. So he didn't want a kid, but he chose to make making decisions. When you go, we not children. When you have sex with somebody and you do not use protection, a child can be created. That's how it's created. If you ask someone to go off of their birth control, that's how a child is created. You do not get to do all these child making activities and then decide, oh, I don't want the baby. Okay? Like, that's not up to you. That's not your choice because you gave away everything you need. Just so y'all know, got this from Walmart. That's what I'm putting the letters on. Yeah. It's just his mindset is just baffling to me. We probably got to go through a commercial real quick.
You want to come in?
Okay, now my internet's tripping. It's acting like my guest.
You want to fuck me raw. So why
we already heard that.
Why are we
were further along. Okay, let's press play.
If it was a woman, if it was a girl who just became 21 and a nigga who was 33, and
but to open their mouth, but y'all pick and choose. So what about Future and his bitch now? What's the age gap with that?
I don't know who she is. I don't know why she got to be called a B.
I don't know what's going on.
Fuck about what men do, but let a woman be 6 years apart, and I'm a fucking predator. Y'all calling me R. Shelley? Y'all got all these memes and this funny shit because my baby. At the end of the day, Paul Jermaine Washington III is my child's name. So if people want to have their own opinion about our relationship, that's on you. I could call my baby father right now. He will laugh. He's not going to dispel any rumors because he loves this shit.
No, but he's on Twitter subtweet like, yo, I want to see my child.
He's allowed to.
Why aren't you letting him see his child? Let's talk about that. Because first of all, we already feel bad for him because we feel like before he can even get a max contract, you already got.
They need to go ahead and do a T-shirt line with the reason I ain't in my child's life is because somebody keeps me away. Because that's what they all say. It's like he got enough money to get a lawyer to take her to court to get access to his child. So if she was keeping from him, it's nothing that's keeping him from having access to his child, but his excuses. That's it. That's all this is a bunch of excuses.
Yeah, you already got a kid.
So you guys feel bad for someone who moved in and wanted to give me a baby and named it after him? That's what y'all feel bad about?
We feel like you were more in control of the situation.
I was control is an illusion. So what are you saying?
Just like if a young woman who said, hey, listen, I met
this
at 19 and we start fucking around when we're 21. Even though you're 21, we're going to feel bad for you because we know what fame and influence brings to someone. Especially with permanent decisions. Just dating, we'll give you back. But once you're having kids, you're getting married, of course, those are permanent decisions.
Okay, so did I make this child myself, or did it take his nut to make this child?
Obviously, it took Toya.
Oh, it did? Oh,
I don't know how that went down.
Okay. Well, do you know how
probably told you, like, I don't want to do it.
Do you know how life is created?
Yeah, but he could have told you I didn't want that shit.
Like, so he didn't want a child, but he's going to name him the third.
Yeah, after it's going to happen because your body, your choice, right?
Oh no! I gave him the option. Whatever you want to do, I love you.
So if he had said, "Not right now,"
I would have agreed to it.
So you just.
Now he don't have nothing to say.
Oh wow! So now it's his fault. What?
PJ Washington, I can't hold you down no more, man. Yo, we got to.
We were in a real relationship. There were real feelings involved. I mean, there was a beautiful child made. Just because it didn't work out.
Why the fuck is he complaining on social media?
That's the $1 million.
Because honestly, he's the reason why you look bad. It looks like you're a user. It looks like you're quote unquote a predator because of how he looks to be like a victim. Hey, hey, I can't see my child. Hey, I know you all warned me, blah, blah, blah. And yes, I fell victim to it. And now I'm over here crying. Not saying you should feel bad for me, but the internet's going to feel bad for you. Because you know why?
What do you want me to do? You want me to go on there? You want me to do an Instagram Live?
Do you ask him?
Of
why
course.
Why the fuck?
We have conversations.
Why the fuck are you acting like you're the victim when you wanted to be in this situation?
That's the $1 billion question. I've asked him that.
Because y'all allow him. That's what y'all do. Y'all live on Excuse Alley.
I've asked him that over FaceTime. We've had a lot of conversations, and you know, the reality is what we talk about in private will never be public. I have no desire to be. I'm not.
I had a fucked up theory, and
oh, let's fucking hear it. It can't be any worse than what you fucking have said already. So
I've said this before. I'll just say it to your face.
Okay. Say it to my face.
DJ, if you're watching, cut this part off, okay? I thought he was a cash out option. I was like, yo, listen, you've been with way more, no disrespect to you, DJ. I told you to cut this off. You've been with way more litter people who are more successful in their respective fields. You know, he's a millionaire, grandest and third. But I felt that, you know, I always say about women, and tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just fucked up in my thinking. Maybe I need to change it. You're getting older, and you needed someone. And you probably always wanted to have a kid, right? And you were like, hey, listen, this is the person that I'm going to not necessarily cash out with, but this is the one who will do this with me.
It's like really audacious of you, because it actually just proves my theory that I've always been in it for true love. I've been with men with way more money, and if I was truly an investor and trying to cash out so I don't have to work again, let me finish. I would have cashed out 5-6 years ago. Men with a lot more.
I thought everybody had you as a side chick. I'm gonna be honest. I thought everybody else had you as a side chick, and listen. In a male community, we know the chick says like, yo, that's side chick pussy. And then we know the dumbass nigga who wipes up the side chick. And we're like,
so what makes me a side chick? Because I'm beautiful. And
no, the one who everybody fucks but doesn't wipe. That's the side chick. Sorry.
So who have I been side chick?
You wrote a fucking book.
Who have I been a side chick? But I was never a side chick.
Well, when you write a book about having casual sex, and by the way, not one of them claimed you. We assume, you know why men don't claim women? Because we have our real girl that we don't want to tell about you. You know that.
What do y'all think? It's just the audacity for me. And it's the fact that men live in this world where they can brag about having multiple options, but because she's lived a life of options, she's a hoe. And she can't be respected. As he sat in her face and just told her that, you know, all these other guys that had the money, you know, you were just a side chick, as if that was acceptable. You know, male action. I gotta show y'all the shirt. It came out so cute. As that was an acceptable male action, but when a woman does it, it's a problem. Turns out, Keto. What do y'all think? What do you think? Do you think she used him? I honestly don't think she used him. I think it goes like this. I think she's a beautiful girl. He saw her. He was in love with her. He saw the things she said, but he tried to build a genuine connection with her. I think that they both probably liked each other initially, and that's why they started talking. She gave up things to be with him. She already had a career before they started talking. He was an adult. He was 20 years old. She was 26. He was 22, as we just learned, when they decided to have a kid. As I said before, he was old enough to drink. He was old enough to join the military. He's old enough to smoke. He's old enough to make adult decisions. And he is not the first man to have a child before the age. I mean, B-Bag's in high school. He probably doesn't treat her the best. He probably kind of talks to her any kind of way, right? And I'm making an assumption here. I don't know. But he probably does talk to her in any kind of way because he feels like, where are you going to go? Nobody else is going to talk to you because he knows about her past. She wrote a full book about it, right? She probably kept trying to make it work for the child. But as you know, she is not the first person in history that once you get this kid, you start to think of things differently, right? Like, you start thinking like, I don't want my child seeing me get treated like this. I don't want my child seeing me getting cheated on. I want them to know that their mother deserves da. And, you know, I think they broke up and she left. And as men do, they cry wolf. They cry wolf. She used me. it's just hard to be used. I'm just telling you, it's hard. People can only use you if you allow them. The only people I give that pass to, oh, they use me, is when it's somebody that's an actual kid. Like when adults manipulate children. Like that situation, with that man, that goddad that married his goddaughter. That's he used her type of situation, because that's a child. Okay. But when we're talking about adults, if everything's on the table, if I make YouTubes and TikToks and Instagram videos, if I wrote a book and you know who I am and you heard what I say, and obviously there was something about me that you weren't just trying to sleep with me, you were trying to build a relationship with me, you moved me in, you asked me to get off my birth control, I don't want to hear about you being used, okay? What I do know is that she wasn't broke before she met him. It was a mutually benefiting situation. Nope, she didn't use him. Like she said, if it was for a come up, she could have done it with more successful men. Whether they considered her a side chick or not didn't matter. If she was just about the money, that'd be the perfect time to do it. Why not have the baby by the man that I don't have to pretend to like, that I can just get pregnant, do the child support, and be the side chick with the baby? I mean, come on, Camilla Anthony got a side baby. Dwayne Wade got a side baby. Who else? There's a million of them out there that get kids outside their marriage, right? So it would have been smarter for her to do that with somebody who made way more money and she was already in a side chick position. It made no sense for her to go in, date somebody, put stuff on hold in her life to go move with him to have this child. I think they were genuine feelings. Did she fall out of love quick? Probably because she knows their games and she called him out on it and he didn't like it. Probably so. And this is what we are today. I think we need to get folks' business. We got to stop making excuses for men. I mean, I'm going to really start doing videos on how I feel like, there's a class of men, there are a group of men that keep making these bad decisions based off, getting it in for the night, and it leads to horrible consequences. And we just make excuses for them. He's a grown man. He made a grown man decision. I don't think she used him. I think that she genuinely probably liked him because she could have definitely came up with other people. I just want to show y'all the shirt again because it was cute. She could have definitely came up with other people with more money than to stick around with him. And I think he just feels played. And so he's pulling his narrative, as we know men do. Okay, let's be real. Men do this. Men make excuses all the time. And so that's just how I feel about it. I feel like it's a lesson learned. It's a lesson learned on all sides. It's a lesson learned. Well, no, I really feel like she did what she thought was in her heart. And I feel like if he would have just manned up, like at the end of the day, y'all always talking about don't talk negatively about your child's father. Let them find out who they are, This man got a whole tweet series. And I know you're saying, oh, the child can't, read. But one day the child's going to grow up and he's going to read this stuff about how his father felt about his mom and about bringing the baby in and all this stuff. And, we don't hold men to that standard because, oh, he was used. It's not his fault, We don't hold men to the same standard. And, it's time out for that. It's time out. And I think that, at the end of the day, this was a great lesson for everybody. If you don't want a child, don't do child making things. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have. So this is the shirt. I think it's cute, and I'll get a video of Chloe in the morning when she puts it on. And thank you guys for coming live with me. We're doing a couple other videos this week or whatever. But this is pretty much it. I'm sorry I couldn't get my guest on here. Something happened with his phone and he left and he froze and he was gone. But, I think having a male perspective would have been cool because I know he's about to start making excuses for him and I was ready for that. I was so ready for that. But he left, so maybe we can get him on another time, okay? All right, guys. As always, don't forget to like this video. If you have not subscribed to the Cricut Gang, please do so. I have a whole bunch of videos that you can watch and to learn how to make money right from your phone. Until next time, guys, stay crafty.